Am I live, you guys? Did I actually do it without any trouble? Oops, sorry about that. So you guys, I see we have Simply Jan Homestead in the house. We have Doris Artman. Hey, Doris, can somebody let me know if I'm going, well, says I'm live. You guys, I have so many things going on today. I am doing no less than 3 things for YouTube. I'm doing the live drawing today. I don't know if you can tell on the wood stove, it is the first full day of having to have the wood stove going. Usually we've been able to, oh, you see in here, I got it figured out, Doris. Can you believe it? I've tried to do so many lives, and it's like, bleh. Not technically savvy, not at all. Anyway, it's the first full day. Usually we turn the wood stove on. No, fire up the wood stove in the mornings because Gerard gets us up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. And it's been in the 40s outside. It still is 65, 66 inside. But we need the wood stove in the morning, first thing, and then we kind of let it go out, and it stays nice and warm. Stays nice and warm all day because Mitch, knowing I have fibromyalgia and that the cold kills me, when he was building this house, he literally put caulking in between, like on the stud of every single stud, sealed it right up. So there's not even a chance of a draft getting in here. He spent 2 days doing that. So there's not even a draft in here. What was I saying? What was my point? Oh, my point is it holds the heat in here really well. Once you warm the bones up, it doesn't really get a chance to cool down. So it stays like that. So it stays like that all day long up until maybe dusk. And around here in Maine, it's that's usually around like 3:30, 4:30. The temperatures start dropping and it gets back down into the 50s and heading down into the 40s again. So we light another fire, like late afternoon. Well, today, as I was saying before I went down this long rabbit hole of explaining our fire, today's the first day that we're actually leaving the wood stove going all day long. So there's nothing in it yet. I've just got the Dutch oven on there warming up and heating up. So that's video today. I'm going to show you guys because I'm not doing the whole thing on the wood stove because the wood stove's not actually going to get that hot today. Hot enough to put a piece of meat in and sear it. So I'm going to do that on my little stove, but that's going to be a video today. I'm also and Vita, hello, my darling, welcome. I'm telling everybody about my my whole wood stove routine while I'm waiting for people to get here. I totally forgot where I was. Okay, anyway, the wood stove, while it's not going to get screaming hot today, it is going to get warm and then cool and then warm and then cool, which, as all of you cooks out there know, is about the perfect thing to do to a cheap old piece of chuck roast. So we're pretty excited. I'm going to do a video on how I sort of compensate for that this time of year. The other thing that I'm doing is, and I know all of you haters out there, there are going to be haters that say, no, it's not Christmas yet. Well, I'm actually thinking ahead to Christmas foods, menus, trying to find different things. So today I've got, for the Christmas parties, I'm trying to come up with some, today I'm doing like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 appetizers that you can do in about 10 or 15 minutes. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be coming up here. You know what I've been finding, you guys? Yeah, see, we can cook on ours too. We've got, even though it's really tiny, and tiny house, tiny wood stove. There is a cooktop on it. There's, you know, a what do you call those? The plates that you can lift out? Oh, Annie's Kitchen and Urban Homestead. Hey there, Annie. Oh, Annette. Do you like Annie or Annette? I have to put my glasses on, you guys. I'm having a hard time seeing. This is awesome. Okay. Do you know what's been going on around here, at least in Maine, you guys? People are painting rocks, and I mean really neat rocks. It's some sort of a movement. Here's the front. Oh, it's backwards. Is it backwards? I don't know. But they're painting these. This one says positive vibes, positive life. And then on the back, I found this at the Augusta Walmart. It's a whole movement around here. Grace rocks. Not backwards. Good. Thank you. This is like the third one that I have found. People are painting these rocks, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful. And they're just leaving them around for people to find. And I'm telling you, they do make you smile. You look down and it's like, whoa. And this is, you know, I found one in Livermore Falls. And it is a whole movement. If you look up Grace Rocks, is this going on anywhere else in the country? Or is it just a Maine thing? I don't know, but it really, and you can either keep them, and I do. I keep them for a little bit. I keep them because they just make me smile. But then when I go out someplace after I've, you know, had my fun with it, all that, I do the same thing. I place it somewhere where somebody's going to find it, knowing how much enjoyment I got from it. Oh, I have to read. I have to read, you guys. Not bad. Oh, it rains fine for us. Thank you, Invita. Oh, either it does not matter, Annie. See, that's like me. My name is Christine, but I've been called everything from Christy. My family all calls me Chrissy to this day. To this day, I'm almost 60 years old, and I'm still Chrissy to a lot of people. I just went back to Christine when I went into the professional world because it was just easier. They're like, oh, what do you like to be called? And it's like, you know, and I don't care. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. Just don't call me late for supper and don't call me fat. You know what I say? You know what I tell them? I say, you know what? Call me anything you want because anything negative, my self-esteem is so low that there's nothing you can say to me that's going to be any worse than what I say to myself. And that usually just... Okay, who else do we have? Karen Ladwick. Hi, Karen. Oh, Minnesota. Yeah, see, Karen? Christmas, it's time to start looking ahead. I hate it when you start, you know, Christmas is like a week away or a few days away, and you're kind of like, oh, let me see what I can find. And there's nothing new and original to inspire you. So I'm looking ahead now. I'm looking ahead, and I'm going to share whatever I find. So, Woodsy, oh, you need closed captioning. Oh, only I can turn it on. Woodsy, you give me 1 second. How do I do that? How do I do closed caption? Participants pop up. Oh, if anybody knows how I can do closed captions, let me know. Send feedback. Edit. Can I edit? Okay, I'm looking. I don't know how to turn on closed caption. Customization, maybe? Oh, no. transcripts? Huh. Oh, you guys. No. Put user in timeout. I've never seen that. That's funny. No idea. Transcripts. How do I even get transcripts? Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, you did it, Woodsy, on your end? Oh, thank goodness. Okay, well, that's important to know. All right, have I missed saying hi to anybody? You've already done it on your end. Okay, but do I still need to do something on my end? Or are you actually, or are you all set, Woodsy? All right, well, I'll look out for that next time. Without a doubt. Okay, so here's something. I want to give you guys an update on my mom. You guys have been so gracious. I have to check the wood stove, sorry. You guys have been so gracious and so supportive. I've gotten so much really good feedback, advice, sharing of experiences about my mom. My mom is going through a phase where she is having memory issues, like serious memory issues. I started the process of a guardianship. I'm trying to get home services to come in because that's necessary at this point too. Well, we've started the cognitive and competency testing for her through her doctor. And we went in this week. We went in earlier this week and she had testing done. You guys, she bombed every single test they gave her. And the only thing I could do was sit there because she was getting frustrated. She knew she was bombing them. And all I could do was sit there and say, "You're doing great, Mom. You're doing great. Good job." She wasn't exactly being honest with the doctor, so I had to fill in a lot of things. So she got mad at me. So there's the update on my mom. I don't have any. The nurse it was with what do you call them? A psychiatric nurse. She's a counselor. Hey, Keith. 71 filter. There you go. Well, Mitch is actually not here, Keith. He's gone to get me a bottle of wine. He cannot, and I feel kind of bad, but not really. You know, he's having some issues right now himself medically with, and you men and the ladies out there of married to the, older middle-aged gentlemen. His PSA numbers are way up. He's been dealing with that for quite a while. And one of the things they said, because Mitch and I like to have our cocktails, 1 or 2 an evening. And they're wanting to see if maybe that's affecting his numbers. So he has totally, but I see no reason why I can't have a glass of wine. Because tonight we're having a fabulous dinner. We're having a fabulous dinner on the wood stove. I'm doing yeah, Jan, I don't know. If the nurse's analysis will be different than mine. I'm not a medical person. Maybe nothing was unusual. Oh, we quite love. See, Keith, this is why I love you. You're so good for my ego. Did you notice I'm wearing makeup? I'm wearing makeup. You know why? You know why? Because I actually had to go out into public today. I didn't want to scare anybody, so I put a little makeup on. um, okay, you guys, I've lost track. I was talking about 2-3 different things. First, my mom. Yeah, so she's had her assessment, but the results are not back yet. And in the meantime, I'm waiting for the state to come in and evaluate what's going on at home to see what sort of services she needs, because Medicare will pay for it. Oh, my hair looks wonderful. You know why, Keith? I just trimmed it myself this morning in the bathroom. I don't have the patience. Oh, can you get me in to get my hair done? Oh, maybe in a week or so. No. Oh. Thank you. Anyway, where was I again? See, you guys distract me. I love it. It's so much fun. I love these lives. So anyway, with my mom, we're waiting for the state to come in. She has excellent insurance, but it won't cover the home health stuff. Practically nothing. So, but she does have Medicare, and Medicare will pay for a lot of home health services. So you interrupt all you want, Keith. That's all right. Anyway, so we're in the process. They're coming in a week or so to evaluate the situation at home. And then once that's done, and then the cognitive and competency assessment report is done, we'll put the two together and we'll come up with a plan just to make sure that my mother is safe. She's looked after. And I've talked to you guys about a lot of the other situations that are going on at her house. And I want to thank you. I really appreciate a lot of the support that you guys have been giving me and sharing your experiences. It has been so helpful. And some of you have come up with things that I didn't think of. And thank you for the private messages. I appreciate that so much, because this is completely uncharted territory for me with Mom. Okay, so now back to Mitch. His PSA numbers are up, and this has always been an issue for him. And I guess what's going on is a precursor to prostate cancer. So that's why they watch them so closely. And he is at that age. He's in his 60s. So, where you need to be watching for things like that. But he is being forbidden from having any alcohol whatsoever, which means his beloved cocktail every night. He loves nothing more than a vodka martini with tipsy onions in it. I can't handle that. But I can handle a very weak vodka with diet tonic. And I like one, maybe two of those. So, but he's forbidden it, and he's been forbidden. And he says he doesn't mind if I have a glass of wine. So that's what I'm having, because I was talking to you guys earlier about what's going on the wood stove over here. So rather than rehash everything, go back, watch the replay. I'm doing a chuck roast on there, but I'm going to have to improvise. And so go back, watch the beginning if you missed it. Okay, I got to see what you guys are doing. See, Jan? It's our only vice. We don't do drugs. We don't smoke cigarettes. We don't, we watch what we eat. We got nothing except our cocktail. Okay, hopefully, yeah. Yeah, and Jan, yep. And Keith, no, you keep interrupting. And Vita, amazing result of self-haircutting. Oh, and Vita, let me tell you a story. The first time I did my own hair, I used to have hair like down to, I want to say, the middle of my back. And then I was out in the garden. It was in our last house back in New Hampshire. And we had one of those rare, super hot days. We don't usually get days in that hit 100 degrees. Well, one day we did, and I was out in the garden trying to do stuff, and the sweat and my scalp, so disgusting. Mitch walked into the bathroom, into our upstairs bathroom, because he couldn't find me. You know, and he comes in, and he comes into the bathroom, and he's like, baby cakes, woo, and he looked at me. I had his shears, and I was cutting it off. So that was my first haircut. So now I have no issue. A clip here, a clip there. I don't care. I have curly, crazy hair. It's crazy. Did you take her car keys away? Okay, well, Jan, here's what started the whole thing. Okay, my mom can be, she's like an old Greek mom, you know, really manipulative. Really manipulative. She knows how to get her kids to do what she wants them to do. Well, we were talking one time about her keys, her driving, because this woman has hit giant brick buildings, old mills that have been turned into offices. She has run into them. She has gotten lost going to places she's been to her whole entire life. And we had a discussion and about her driving, about her living situation, that I'm concerned. And she told me, I am not leaving my house. I am not going to stop driving. And if you try to make me, I am going to commit suicide. I will commit suicide. Now, granted, I know she was only trying to manipulate me to shut up and leave her alone. But that's what got the ball rolling. That was you said the words, I'm going in. And that's when I started the whole process. So no, not yet. But if the assessment comes back that she is indeed incompetent mentally and cognitively, the keys are going. That's my cue. Legally, I will go in and do that. So it's a process, Jan. It's all a process when you have a stubborn parent. I have to have the law on my side. And I'm getting there. It's a process. Yeah, Jan, poor Mitch. And yeah, please pray for positive results. I realize it's not as dire a situation as some of our friends out there, like Peggy and Andy. It's not anything like that. So, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Deb from Deb's Way. Hi there. Oh, so nice to see you, Deb. I was so glad that you posted your how you came through Ian. You were on our hearts. You and William were on our hearts. So I was really glad to see that. Oh, Keith, you have one for Mitch, okay? Have a cold one, couple cold ones yourself. We'll have one for Mitch. And in fact, film it. Videotape it. Let's I can put my glasses back up. Yeah. I'm trying to get my ducks in a row. Because a guardianship is next. And the problem is with a guardianship, she's going to lose most of her rights as an adult. So it's not something I'm enjoying. But I have to protect my mother. She's my mother. Deb's Way, what's up with Mitch? Mitch is having, Deb, and you're married. You're married to a semi-senior gentleman. He's having his PSA numbers that have to do with the prostate issue. His PSA numbers are very high. They're very high, and they're concerned that it's a precursor to prostate cancer. So, and I just went through this whole thing. So I'm just gonna basically say that he's been cut off from alcohol, but I haven't. So there's a whole discussion there. Deb, go back and watch the replay, and I'll explain it all. Let's see. Do you find living in a tiny house is easier in regards to cleaning, maintenance, etc.? Trying to convince hubby to downsize. Do it. I love it. I cleaned my whole entire kitchen, top to bottom, front to back, including the drawer wipeout. You know what I'm talking about when you do a deep clean in your kitchen? 45 minutes. Tops. Took me 45 minutes. I have not found crowding to be a problem. Because honestly, when we moved in here, we had 2 English Mastiffs and a cat. And we were concerned. We were concerned that we were going to all be tripping over each other. But when we actually moved in here, we found that it was no different. Because the animals were always within a foot of us, no matter where we are. No matter where we were, even in the big house. They'd follow us around, lay down at our feet. Hold on, I got to check my wood stove. No, looking good. So no, I don't find it. There are some things that I would have done differently. I miss a bathtub. We don't have a bathtub. One of the things on our plans in the future is an outdoor bathroom. Because you haven't lived until you have taken a shower or a tub in the great outdoors. It is the most pleasurable thing ever. So we're going to do that at some point. I'd have done a different washer and dryer. I would have done a full-size washer and dryer rather than the small apartment size, because I have a difficult time. We have a king-size bed, and I have a difficult time washing the blankets in the smaller washer and dryer in the apartment size. So I'd have done that differently. I probably would have done maybe more full-size appliances, like a bigger dishwasher, because I cook all the time. I dirty dishes like crazy, and I probably would have done a bigger dishwasher. The refrigerator, I haven't had an issue with, but I would have done a refrigerator with an ice maker. What else would I have done differently? I don't know. Not much. Not much. We enjoy it very much. I especially enjoy that our heating bill, okay, let me tell you our heating bill. We heat with wood. We have a mini split, so that is a good backup, but we don't use it because, as you know, electric heat is very expensive. We use about a cord of wood, and for us, that was $375. Some winters we may use a little more, some winters we'll use a little less, but it's about that. So our heating bill all winter is $375. Our tax bill, our property tax bill, we went from paying almost $5,000 a year in New Hampshire on our big house down to paying, I think it was $850 a year now in this house. So definitely worth it. Mitch is home full time now instead of working. So definitely, usually definitely worth it. So definitely worth that. What we have found, here's what we have found. Even though we have significantly less disposable income. No, I'm saying this wrong. No, back up. Even though we have significantly less of an annual or monthly income than we did before, because our expenses are so much lower, we have no mortgage. Our expenses, we're literally only, what is this room? I think this room that I'm in is 12 by 16. It's the only room that we light, that we have lights in. The wood stove heats the whole house. Our disposable income right now without, with Mitch retired and not working and all we have is our pension, we actually have as much disposable income as we had while he was working full time and killing himself and dying from the stress. So yeah, it was totally worth it. All right, I gotta go back. Oops, I've missed a lot. Okay, I gotta back up. I gotta back up. Yeah, Deb, you're fine. The neighbors are cleaning up from the flood. Yeah. Yep, I was happy too, Jan, to hear that she was okay. She and William were okay. Yes, Deb, I do have power of attorney over my mother. Yes, I do. But the problem with that is that it's only so much. Okay, because she still has legal authority to do whatever she wants to do and get herself into whatever mess. Let me give you an example. Her refrigerator was making a heck of a noise. Okay, it was annoying. It was annoying. She had a loose, what was it? A loose bracket, some kind of a loose bracket, and a fan was like hitting it, running into it. Okay. Nothing wrong with her motor, nothing wrong with the refrigerator. It was still working. It needed a $20 bracket. Okay. Well, she decided to call the local appliance store and also repairman in town that we don't do business with. We don't do business with them. And I'll tell you why. You'll see why as soon as I finish the story. She called them to come up to her house. Okay, so and Mitch knew what the problem was. He just hadn't gotten to it. They told her that her motor was going in the refrigerator. So a $20 repair ended up being almost $250. They knew. And if they didn't know, they should have known. That's their job. That's their business. That it was a $20 bracket. And they took advantage of her. I had no power or authority to go to them and say, no, you had no right. Other than saying, that's my house that you went and did that to. I own it. And I didn't call you and I didn't give you permission. But with a guardianship, I could go down and say, no, you had no right. Like a child doing something, you may not sign a contract. You may not get into this. So that's the difference between a guardianship and a power of attorney. And what I need to protect her is the guardianship. So there's that. All right, where are we? Yeah, Deb, you and I have talked about that you would love to go tiny. You had a small house. Weren't we talking about that? It was you, wasn't it? You had a 900 something square foot house and you loved it. I remember you and I talking about that. There. Oh, wait, I went too fast. All right, Annie's Kitchen and Urban Homestead. There are 3 of us. Our 22-year-old son is on the autism spectrum. We currently live in a typical 3-bedroom home, but only use a few rooms in the whole house. See, that was the same with us. We were in a big 3-bedroom house, huge kitchen, which I did love. I mean, I do miss my house. I do miss my big house, but it's just Mitch and me. And our kids, I mean, I can't tell you. I think the whole 13 years we lived in that house, we had all of our kids and grandchild there at the same time. Once. Just once. It's just us. It's basically just us. And we're in the kitchen or we're sleeping. That's where Mitch and I were. We were barely even in the living room. So, hence the reason we've only got a 1-bedroom and a one great. I'm in the dining room. The wood stove is in the living room, which goes that way. And then the kitchen is directly behind you guys. We just don't need it. Okay, whoops, wait a minute. Oh, Fallen Arkansas veterans. Hi, Charles. Oh, I'm so glad to see you back. I'm so glad to see you back. Hey, I liked your last video, by the way. Yes, Deb, we are definitely happier. We are definitely happier. Mitch was, we walked away from a very lucrative 6-figure income. Mitch worked for, I wonder if I can say that. He's not here. I'm going to tell you. He used to work for Raytheon, and he was the super duper top secret. And in fact, so top secret that I can't tell you what he did. I don't know. But it was stressful. And he was a world player. It was defense, crypto, something or other. I don't know. Security, defense security, and all of that. Communications security, all that business. I don't know. But he's not. His blood pressure was through the roof. And I mean, through the roof. He went in for a surgery one time on his shoulder, a minor surgery. And while they had him hooked up to all of the stuff, you know, the blood pressure, the pulse, all of that monitors, he was setting alarms off. They almost canceled the surgery because they were afraid he wouldn't live through the surgery. A minor surgery. Well, that was the wake-up call for us. And then Mom started going downhill, and it was like, you know what? A change needs to happen. A change needed to happen, you know, or we were going to run out of time together. You know, we weren't going to have a retirement together. So, and it led us to here, and we couldn't be happier. We love it. Love it. All right. So where am I? Annie, I am 56, but have health issues. Whoops, I went too far. Yeah. See, we do too. We do too. And it just, when you add the stress, we walked away from the money. I mean, it was mid 6 figures. We walked away from it. We don't need it. We don't need it to be happy. We're not materialistic people. We don't have, you know, we buy our car, pay it off. Bought the camper, paid it off. Bought the camp, paid it off. You know, so we don't need it. Yeah, Charles, it made my blood boil too. And you know what really was the sticker? I have known the owner of that company since we were kids. And that would happen, and that he would do that to my mother, somebody he's known his entire life. It's like, this is not how you take care of the elderly folks in your town. And he and I had a discussion about it. Trust me. Mrs. Debbie LW. Hi, how are you? Oh my gosh, I'm loving seeing everybody here. This is awesome. Oh, Biblical Animal Farm. Good afternoon. Hey there. Welcome. Welcome. Am I yelling at you guys? Sorry. Oh, that's it. I think I am all caught up. Whenever I travel back to Minneapolis, I do a drive-by every time. Deb, I do that too. I do that too. All right, you guys. All right, you guys. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You know what I'm going to say? We had a drawing for this awesome super duper can opener. This opens things lickety split. Hold on. I've been talking nonstop here for 40 minutes, as much as I've enjoyed it. There we go. All right. Okay. So I have taken Just Carol with an E off of our list. We would still need 3 bedrooms. So sometimes I am in a knee sleepness a bit. Oh, Annie, you know what? You know what would be a solution for us? We didn't go tiny just to be trendy and give, you know, pare down and give everything up. We have outbuildings. Mitch has a workshop where all of his stuff is. It's out on the other side of the garden. He's got a fairly decent sized workshop where his tools and all of that stuff are. We've got the garage is bigger than the house. The garage is bigger than the house, and we've got a lot of our storage stuff in there. And the back half of it, Mitch is going to be starting to be working on a pantry for me. So a lot of stuff is going to go in there. We eventually are going to also have a guest house, a guest cabin. So if you're in a lot of pain, a guest cabin might be a good idea. Just a suggestion. Just a suggestion. Carol Cooper. No, hi, Carol Cooper. I didn't even see you. You snuck right in. No, Deb. Carol, there was another Carol that was, and it was only Carol. One name, Carol. No last name, and it was spelled differently. It was Carole. But I never heard back from her. I had no way to contact her. I couldn't find her. So here's the thing that's going to be different with this drawing. Rather than drag it out, because I got behind, I gave until, I think it was like 48 hours, a couple of days, until Wednesday. The drawing was Sunday. I gave till Wednesday. I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay, that's too long. It spoils the fun. It drags it out. We don't have the excitement. And this is exciting. So when I do this drawing, whoever it is, if you're not on here today, I'm going to try to track them down, but they're only going to have 24 hours. And if they don't get back to me, we'll do another drawing on Tuesday, and that's how it's going to go. Does that make sense? Because half the fun is the excitement and the anticipation. And then, and when you drag it out, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, okay. Know what I mean? All right, so it's 1 through 25. I'm going to put you guys up. Not put you guys up. I'm not going to be able to see you guys for a minute. You can probably still see me, but I'm going to get my little, I've got an Excel thing here, and everybody has a number that entered. So here we go. Minimum 1, maximum 25. We only had 25 folks, so that's good because your chances of winning will be better. I'm going to generate. I need one number. 20. Where are you? Okay, guys. All right. Okay. Wait, I got to put this down. Because you know why? The winner is on here today, right now. I'm so excited. Okay, are you ready? Mrs. Debbie L.W. Are you here? Mrs. Debbie L.W.? Chime in. I know you're here. I saw you. Mrs. Debbie L.W. Mrs. Debbie L.W. Come out of the ladies' room. Mrs. Debbie L.W. Mrs. Debbie L.W. Mrs. Debbie L.W. You're the winner of this. This will change your life. Debbie L.W. Mrs. Debbie L.W. She is not chiming in. You don't suppose she went to have a glass of wine, do you? Mrs. Debbie L.W., here's what I need you to do. If you're not on here and you don't respond, well, yeah, I still need you to email me because I need your mailing address. Mrs. Debbie L.W., so that I can get you, that to you. She's on, and she responded. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Yes. Mrs. Debbie L.W. Okay, so send me and email me your address at My Tiny Retirement, not at My Tiny Retirement, but to My Tiny Retirement at gmail.com. Okay? I'm sorry I said you were out having a glass of wine. I didn't mean it. There you go. Thank you, Charles. I didn't even see her. Okay. So you see how nice that works out. Oh, and Mr. Tiny Retirement just got home. I was telling them your saga of oh, are you on the phone? No. Oh, I was telling everybody your saga of not being able to drink because your PSA numbers are. Well, Keith, my boyfriend, he's going to go have a couple of cold ones and one for you.
Okay, good.
He said good. All right, you guys. So I have taken up enough of your time. Oh, our winner was on today. So we've got a winner. She's going to email me and we can get her can opener out to her.
So I think it'll look good. Spanish white.
What is it?
They were pretty much wiped out.
Oh, wiped out. Look what he got me. Do you guys know anything about this stuff? I'm usually a Pinot Gris.
They were out. There's all the crappy stuff.
Spanish wine. All right.
Spanish
So no, I don't think I'll be drinking this whole bottle tonight, but we'll see if I have to deal with my mom or not. I did not just say that. I was just kidding.
Yeah, she could be a handful.
Okay, wait. I gotta. Isn't that exciting, you guys? I love it. I love it. Okay. I might just pour one now. I asked if, because you missed it. You missed it. Because I said, I didn't see her respond.
Yeah.
And I said, she's not out having a glass of wine, is she? Debbie, you go ahead and have one. Doris, it was nice chatting with you too. Yeah, it was nice chatting with you too. Okay, so Debbie from Mrs. Debbie LW, don't forget, shoot me that, and I will get this can opener out to you within the next, I'm hoping with it early this week. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, but hopefully, maybe it will be. All right, you guys, we've been on for 45 minutes. Thank you for letting me get all this stuff off my chest. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I know it. Aren't we awful? Aren't we awful? But you know what? We're adults. Nobody's driving. We're all sitting here in front of. Oh, you know what we're doing though? It's like texting and. Is that even a thing?
Huh?
Videoing, live video and drinking. Is that even a thing? Like texting and drinking and texting?
Oh, video would be worse because they have your.
A video would be worse. Okay, you guys. Okay, same to you, Jan. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye, Deb. Goodbye. I'll talk to you guys all later. Thank you guys all for joining in, and we'll talk to you next time. You guys have a great week.